We just got the call from the flooring guys. They have made it to the valley. Both trucks that they brought almost went off the side of the cliff. We'll get that story later. But I got in the truck this morning and we are frozen. It's cold! Oh, it's cold. Look at that, man. The frickin' soil's frozen. It's bubbled up. That's what happens to our roofs. I'm not even kidding. That's why the roofs are so bad up here. Look at this. It's got ice on everything. All right, we gotta defrost this truck and get to the job. Park any way you want.
Nice.
Yeah. Any way you want. Devin, is that you?
Hey, bro.
What's going on? The drive here was rushed because the boys made it to the job site before me. I wanted them to call me, let me know, and I get it ready for them. I hate showing up to a job and I can't work. And I'm sure they're the same way. So they've been sitting here waiting for me for like 10 minutes. I go to get my truck. I just showed you it was frosted over. Threw some water on it, got moving. But I was like, oh, this is sketchy driving a couple blocks, you know? Wasn't going far. But then I'm looking at all the other cars on the road and everyone did the same thing. So today's the flooring day. The boys are here. They came all the way from Orange County, Long Beach, Huntington Beach, California, to do my job. Normally, they don't do jobs like this, but me and Josh have been friends since we were, I don't know, 12, 13 years old. Talk every week. So I'll introduce you to them in a minute, and we'll get this floor started.
See that?
Yeah.
Just so you know, that was there.
Now you might be saying to yourself, man, that is a sloppy wax ring. Look at, they even trying to level it with, I don't know, some kind of, I don't know what that is, man. I don't know. I can't even guess. It's not gypsum. Yeah, you might be saying, man, that looks pretty bad. You should smell it. It's awful. It's like the sewage has permeated into the wax, which is, I don't think possible, but oh god, it's fucking... All right, we got to clean that up. The floor prep is underway. Still a lot of staples and nails sticking up, a lot of bumps in the subfloor. I mean, plywood subfloors is kind of what you expect. We decided to pull up the repaired subfloor in the bathroom around that vent because it's just not enough support. And it's just one of the weakest spots. There's also another one in the master I'm gonna have to do. But you can see now they're pulling up all the remaining linoleum, knocking down the staples, and sanding down the wood floor wherever there's bumps and ridges.
3/8 of an inch.
Yeah, okay.
Another, maybe even 7/16. Then it starts coming back up to maybe 5/16, 3/16, 1/4 inch, and we're pretty good there. Okay. Even though it's diving and then coming back, we got about 1/8 of an inch here. So here's the thing. Also, before I go into my what I'd like to do, my plan, we got two options here. One, we float it with concrete. We have to wait for it to dry, yada yada, all of that, and we still got flexing in the floor. Second option, we pop this out. We just run a skill saw down this beam the whole time. We go ahead and put another sister stud in there that's
higher up.
Then we just plop in 3/4 inch right on top of it, and it's done. And we can work immediately on top of it. We don't have to wait for dry time or anything like that. It's up to you.
So we decided our subfloor repair wasn't adequate to house a rhino or baby elephant. All right, so same with that subfloor. Just like we did the other bathroom, now this bathroom. whoever did this originally was a 1/2 inch, should have been 3/4, and now it's had to be shimmed, and it's just not the best floor. I know I'm doing shoddy camera work, but we're just gonna pull the whole thing up, including the toilet, and put a nice new sheet down, because ultimately this floor just needs to be durable. That's why we're doing LVP. We want it to be a long-lasting floor, and we're just going around to the areas that are the biggest concerns, the areas that if anything's gonna fail, these are gonna be where it fails. And if we patch up all those, which I think is 4 holes, then if the floor actually does fail, at least it won't fail in those places. And yeah, we have a lot of confidence doing that. So, I mean, yeah, it's a little extra work, 1/2 day for 3 guys, but it's gonna be perfect. Well, it's gonna be much better. How about that? All right, so the floor's still going in, but yesterday we were able to go to Home Depot and pick up all the blinds we needed. 10 sets total, custom cuts, because mobiles have weird window sizes. So we're gonna be throwing those in while the floor's going down. I'll keep you updated on all that. We're still fixing the subfloor, sanding it down. Working too fast, can barely breathe. Okay. All right, afternoon update. We excited to announce that the third room, the room addition, that took the most amount of work to get to where it is, has the least amount of work to do on the floor, which is nice, so we can lay that down quick. Rest of the house, still doing the subfloor. Decided to go all the way on this. The bathroom is just too critical, gets a lot of moisture, and it was really rough shape. Doing it this way is a lot of extra work, but we're gonna put one solid piece in here, and then we'll never have to worry about it again. Knock on wood. We're gonna need a bunch of self-leveling bags. Probably gonna have to make a run and pick up a dozen of those, because in the living room, and this is all sanded up and nice, there was a nice bow right here. Couldn't really feel it, but when you put a level on it, it's pretty evident. So in this room, because it's a mobile, all right, this is the cut. This is a double wide, so this is one house, one side of the house, other side of the house. And this is where they bond it together. You can see where the bolts are that hold it, right? Every 4 foot. And when this comes together, it kind of like just slowly kind of ribs over. It's not as abrupt as you would think, like, you know, like a roof. It is a little more circular. But because of that, and we can't take down this bow by just sanding it, it's just too high. What we decided to do is take it down as low as we can without hitting the bolts, otherwise you take off too much material, you mess up your subfloor. And then adding self-leveling to the left side and to the right side. And we're talking, like I said, a dozen bags. But that will make sure the floor is flat. Not necessarily level, but flat. Flat to code, and flat to the point where you're not worried that in a year or two, by moving sofas and people jumping around, that it's gonna separate. And that's what it's gonna take, right? It's the big job on this whole house is the floor. We're doing an entire house, whole floor. I want it to be right. I got enough problem with rental houses. I don't need to add the floor to this one in the future. So we're gonna do it right. And it's gonna be a little extra work, and it's gonna be worth it in the long run.
I need a short
New level. We're gonna self-level up to here. 5/8. All the way across the back. This is around the vents. That's gonna get the saw cut down. A beam saw? It's a multi-tool. Okay. Fine saw. I don't know. German brand. They pronounce it fine, but it's spelled beam. And then here's the other side. This is a 3/4 inch prise. Can I step on this? Yes, you can. What? And this is just
The concrete primer.
yeah, it's a low quick primer.
I just gotta hit this wall and
And that just seals everything in and helps the self-leveler stick to it.
Helps the bonding between the substrate and the self-leveler.
So it's kind of like acrylic bond.
So you wear these and you can walk in it, and then you get your roller, your porcupine roller, and you roll that thing out.
Wow.
We mark everything out. We clog everything with expansion foam first, or caulking around all the entire perimeter. Ensure there's no leaks. Roll on a primer.
You need laces.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Well, dollar store.
Yeah, it's fine. We're not gonna do a giant pour here. I'll tape them, dude. You know? Roll them together.
We don't have the mixing drill, the low RPM mixing drill, but we're ready to start self-leveling. That's 8 bags. Think we're gonna need 12, but here's the sacrificial drills. We're gonna start with this drill. When this one burns up, we're gonna move to the Ryobi old school drill. We've already got our money out of all these. Honestly, we never use these drills. I use this one, but we haven't been doing a lot of masonry and drilling into concrete lately. But this should be able to handle all the whipping. But it's got 2 speeds, 1 and 2. I think we're gonna be all right, but I think we're gonna burn some drills up. So here we go.
usually when we do this, it's like a lot quicker because we have 3 bags mixing at once.
Yeah.
It's a little, because usually we like to keep the mix wet when you blend the few bags together, because if you try to throw like a wet bag with a partially dry bag together, they don't blend as clean as it is when you, like, you know what I mean, per bag.
Yeah, you need uniformity.
Yeah, should I probably put too much in there?
I gotta get you walking on that camera like that. Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
Give me a hand when you have a moment. I need tape.
That's a wrap on day 14, day 1 of the flooring job, but day 14 in total. Well, we had to run a 2x4 and a float, or just a concrete finishing trowel, because they didn't bring the porcupine roller. They didn't realize they had to take minimum tools, because they didn't realize that this floor was gonna need so much self-leveling. So we did it the old-fashioned way, which is just fine. I gotta close the window. But that's a wrap. That's a wrap. And then tomorrow I got to pick up some more bags of self-leveler. And the rest of the rooms are pretty good. The living room was just really bad. So this adventure continues tomorrow, and we'll see you then.